A community of hunter-gatherers have decided to settle down on a fertile river valley. Around them are lush fields and dense woodlands, as rolling hills look down on them from afar. While this new, fixated lifestyle has its benefits, concerns begin to be raised on one issue. How will the settlement be run? The tribal elders present a solution. From this day forward, the tribe will consult the higher spirits in order to define a political ideology that the tribe will strictly follow for 100 years, until another is chosen and takes its place. As no dedicated altar has been built, the elders give the tribe a head start and choose an ideology for the first 100 years of this settlement's existence: tribalism. This is no great change for these porcelain people, as they have been using this ideology for millennia prior. Nonetheless, there is anticipation to see how it works out when applied to their newly shifted way of life. Tribalism revolves around a small but loyal network of families, strongly connected through culture and blood. This is not to be confused with a state, which unites a group of people under an organized government. Tribalism precedes such modernized ideas. That aside, since tribes typically remain limited in their number of members, the odd diaspora isn't uncommon, with these groups usually forming tribes of their own. Tribalism is arguably one of the oldest ideologies, if it can even be considered one, and being of such a primordial state, politically speaking, one cannot fully define where it sits on the political spectrum. The small, interconnected nature of tribes also means that they can be quite guarded from outer influences, which makes intertribal diplomacy a bumpy matter, the echoes of which can still be seen today. What we can be certain of is that a tribalist group follows a leader and holds elders in high regard. With all this in mind, the timeline for the first century of our porcelain settlement ensues. Over the first few years, the porcelain tribe become accustomed to their new lives in the river valley, sustaining themselves through fish from the river, deer from the plains, along with roots and berries from the western woodlands. The interconnected nature of tribalism, along with the lack of distinct social classes, mean that the workload is shared, and everyone has their own important role, be it construction, hunting, sowing, or otherwise, with power distributed regardless of gender, and the comfortable lifestyle allowed by this lack of conflict and abundance of resources means that their population begins to grow, doubling from roughly 400 individuals to 800 after 40 years. But this growth in population poses an issue to the tribal leader, as the resources in their side of the valley can only sustain so many people. Besides, it's harder to manage the tribe as the population grows. It is clear some people will have to emigrate from the tribe, and the elders agree. The elders proceed to select a number of families within the tribe, provide them with supplies, and order them out to find new land for themselves. This newly evicted community, while displeased at their sudden removal, understands that such measures are for the benefit of the village. They make their way north over many weeks, crossing the main river and eventually settling on the Copper Plains, 20 kilometers away from their old home. Back in the original settlement, the memory of the exile gradually fades as life continues as normal. Years pass, and the porcelain tribe experiences a cultural explosion, with unique art and home designs based on materials at hand. The lives of the porcelain people are not free from misfortune, however, as it soon becomes clear that a major food source, the main river, is becoming barren of fish due to intensive fishing by the copper settlement upstream. As the population stagnates, the tribe leader, with advice from the elders, decides it best to send a diplomatic party up north to negotiate a compromise of river resources. But the copper settlement, after 50 years of seclusion, have become protectionist over their way of life and see this diplomatic party as outsiders, wishing to destroy their integrity. The diplomatic band is chased out and informs the tribe leader back home that the copper settlement is hostile. The tribe leader, fearing further gains by the copper settlement, begins protective measures for their own tribe, ordering the construction of palisades and appointing members to keep watch. It has now been 100 years since the founding of the porcelain settlement and the adoption of tribalism as their ideology for that period. But now, that era is over, and the elders must choose a new ideology for their people to follow. The altar has been built, and the elders gather round, singing hymns to reach the higher wisdom of the YouTube comments section. There, various souls can choose an ideology for the porcelain people to follow, and the submission with the highest show of hands will be used for the next 100 years, greatly affecting the lives of our little porcelain settlement. So what ideology will be used to shape the lives of these porcelain people? You decide.